So,
But those are rules that like you guys made some tough rules though. That everything stuck, you know?
Jaguar on a Sunday, you come there?
Yeah. Come on, bro.
So because of me, right, what happened was playing in 2 weeks. Remember, Dorn's not from here, bro.
Right,
Sometimes he's fresh here, so you don't understand. He's thinking, yo, bro, why the fucking these guys fucking tapping the walls when you playing the reggae? Why they doing this shit? Why they going like this, bro? Because he don't know that culture.
Right.
But within a 2-week period, we went from one little group of guys to suddenly 50 of them. And suddenly there was 100 of them. We only have 500 people in the club. Someone goes, yo, bro, been talking, people are saying that you're attracting the reggae community down here. So next week there's no reggae. You can't play reggae. I'm like, what? I don't even remember. They put a sign up at the front door. No reggae music.
I think so, man. I think so.
Well, you know what? That was one of the smartest things we could have ever done.
Really?
Yeah, because if we had let that crowd come in there, that club would never last.
So we're really blessed. And, you know, bro, I'm really blessed to have you here. And if you guys don't know, this is DJ Carlos, you know, from Toronto. Might be the mayor of Toronto, has many stories. So, you know, in this is all about I quit my job. And everybody knows Carlos is a DJ, but we want to find out the ins and outs and what he's doing now. And, you know, how did he get through? How can he inspire some of the people that are watching this? And, you know, he has amazing stories and just how he is. He has his online presence. And you know how that goes. He don't give a F. I'm going to introduce to Carlos. He's going to tell you who he is, and he's going to give it back to me, and then we're just going to jump into it. Carlos, again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it.
And I love what you're doing, man. I've been watching.
Oh, really? Thank you so much, man. So who are you, brother?
Hey, man, my story's pretty crazy. And to believe it or not, very few people can actually say they were there to watch probably my beginning days because you were there. You know, my days started as an Indian kid growing up in a predominantly black neighborhood in Scarborough.
Right.
And, you know, during that breakdancing era, you either were a breakdancer or you were somebody watching. And a good friend of mine, who's still one of my best friends in life today, Stefan, his older brother, Jason, was a DJ. And I tried the breaking thing. Like, I could do it, but I wasn't one of the top guys. I could pop and all that. I was pretty good at that stuff. But I realized something. I noticed it was always a DJ. You know, we all carried our boxes, right? And people are running tapes. And I started realizing guys back then they would pay like $5 for a mixtape. I was like, yo, I was like 13 years old.
So, sick.
So I'm looking at
So you had it already. You had that vision.
So my friend Jason, Stefan's older brother, I just started hanging with him. Next thing you know, we're doing the school dance. And then because I did one school dance, it turned into all the schools in the neighborhood. And
wow.
The sound crew started hearing about us.
And this is where? Scarborough? Or
this was Scarborough and East York.
Okay.
At the time I was in East York. So then there was a sound crew in the west side called Cosmic Crash Group.
I remember those guys. I remember the name.
So they reached out to me and, hey man, if you get us in that school dance with us, we'll do the sound. And that turned into me joining the crew.
Oh, so sounds were totally different then.
Yeah, so then...
Okay.
Then one of the DJs in TKO, me and him started rolling because we're always at the record store together. Then I joined TKO in the peak years, and we just dominated. We did all the high school dances. Then we started doing community center dances.
Wow,
where you're charging $5.
$5.
You do 1,000 people, bro, in like 1986, 87, bro. That's big money, man. It's
big
like
money,
lottery, bro,
right? For sure.
So that naturally turned into, I looked at the downtown market because I was making that transition when I was 19, 20.
Just before you even get there, like, when did you get your first like equipment and like, you know what I'm saying?
True story.
So how did you get like to say, I'm going to take this all the way?
True story. And my inner circle knows this to this day. My first 2 turntables, were not called Technique 1200s. They were Technique 1700s. And, I'm open about it. We all grew up in low income areas. So
right.
I stole them.
Fell off the truck.
I stole them, bro. I straight up stole them. Yeah. That was 40 years ago. Right. And,
you needed them, man.
Yeah,
so
for about 6 months, I was working on those. And believe it or not, for my 13th birthday, I was able to get my mother to buy me a brand new pair of Technique 1200s when they first came out. With the needles. And I have them to this day. To this day. And for DJs, Stanton 680s, I still have them. So my mom actually saw the vision. Maybe what she was thinking is like, you know what? This kid is staying in his bedroom for hours.
Oh, so you're mixing and all
I'm
that.
mixing,
in
and I only have like, every week you accumulate, you're hustling to go get 4 or 5 records.
Yeah,
So I don't have a crate of records yet. So I'm mixing the same music, and she's probably thinking, he's better off here than being outside causing trouble. Right. So it really started like I always praise my moms for that because.
So you speak of trouble, but I remember you as like running with these cats from Markham and Eglinton. I remember like, who's this Indian dude running with these guys and scrapping and always going to get in trouble and shit?
It's funny for the story, as I share online now, my young son, he's 12. He's about to become a black belt.
Okay.
And you'll understand this. And, this new generation won't understand. That's a great thing about our city. We've become such a multicultural city that it's probably not a big of a problem as it was back then. But me going into Markham and Eglinton, being a non-black, non-West Indian, because I'm Sikh, I'm Punjabi, I always share the story openly. At the time, my father was in the joint. He was in the pen. And my dad taught me something. You know what's going to happen? Like the first day at school, at a new school, that crew is going to hear about you or see you that first day. You know what they're going to do? They're going to challenge you.
And your dad said that.
So what you got to do, you got to make sure you knock one of them out. And do it in a way that they talk. So it was the same thing, Markham and Eglinton. True story. The first day we moved in, before I came out, there was like, they surrounded me. My car, and it didn't get to a physical fight because somebody jumped in right away and said, "No, man, they kind of co-signed for me." But then they said, "No, he's a real dude. He's part of our crew. We're walking into the crew." But yeah, bro. Like,
so how did you transform into being like a club DJ, and for one of the biggest and hottest clubs at the time? Like
always, man. I talk about my late business partner, Dora Major. He's not only a big brother, mentor. He's been gone for 10 years.
Right.
But I got him tattooed on my arm. Got my son named after him. But he was the one that told me. And it's like, I believe you never lose that side of you, because I always tell people, and it's funny, later in life, I'm in different corporate worlds, and I see when someone talks to me, they have no idea my background.
Right.
But I've learned to control something that I learned from a young age. Doran goes, "Hey, man, you got a great opportunity. Your music, you know what you're doing. The people in our generation know and respect you. But I want to show you how, we were the first guys to do a party in the Sky Dome opening year.
Right.
And that turned into a 15 in a year in a row event for us. We did parties up in the CN Tower.
Wow.
So what I remember him saying to me was, 2 things you got to do. You're going to have to separate yourself from your crew.
Wow.
And he goes, if you think about athletes, at some point, athletes have to let go of their crew if they really want to go to the next level.
Right.
Because they're going to keep you down.
And they speak of that now. Like everybody shares those stories now.
So it was a very important conversation that we fast forward to when I actually left DJing to get involved on the promotion side and get involved in ownership of the club. It was that same conversation that you got to make a decision that as much as you love that right now, to grow, you got to step away from it.
Right.
Because you got so much more to offer than just being a DJ. But by listening to him, we started dominating. Because then I didn't, we come from an era like in the 80s.
Right.
I was part of that shell top era. Like we didn't wear Nikes. We were wearing Patrick Ewing when he was with Adidas.
Right.
Like, it was Adidas shit, right?
Top 10s.
And then Jordan came out. So I'm Jordan out. And then, suddenly the New York hip hop took off. That's the beginning of the golden age of hip hop.
Right.
So now we're rocking Timbs and Lumberjacks. He's like, dude, you can't do that. You got to go invest.
So he went straight to the
which I did. And now I'm taking hate from my boys because now I'm suited up and I'm DJing.
Right. I just remember you guys all being dressed out, dress pants.
Russo Taylors, man, to this day, they'll tell you so the true story is that transition was having somebody that spoke the truth, but that truth was hard to really take in.
Right.
And it's funny
but it was a time shift. Remember, things were shifting where everybody had to dress accordingly to go to the events that you needed to go to.
And we introduced it. And he was saying, this is what we're starting to do, but we can't promote a semi-formal event and you're showing up in a tank top.
Right.
You just can't do that.
Right.
You can't show up in a baseball cap. As much as you want to wear that fitted cap that nobody has, you can't wear that, bro. Get your hair cut. So it's a respect thing of like, I don't know if everybody would have accepted it.
Right.
It was hard. It wasn't easy. And we bumped heads. We did. Like, I'd show up like sometimes and he'd be like, dude, I told you to tuck your shirt in. So it's a transition that it's paid off in life because everything I do now, it always kind of goes back to that. And I'm now trying to teach that to people.
So what was it like now that seeing that, yo, I'm a DJ, my first day, this is it. Your parents are accepting what you're doing. Like, what was that feel like? Like, because now you're a DJ. Is this how you're making all your money?
True story. I saw in East York, there's a community center called Secor Community Center.
Mm-hmm.
Typical, especially kids today won't understand this, but in any neighborhood, usually Friday nights at a community center was like a free for all. Like the gym is probably open from 7 to 10.
Yes.
So you kind of start off with, you start off soft with volleyball for half hour. Then, you might go into dodgeball, but you always end with basketball. The guy that was working the community center for the city, he brought it to me. He said, hey, man, I got
a vision.
I got an idea. Can't tell nobody. Nobody will know.
Right.
Do a dance.
Mm-hmm.
All you got, if you make 500, just give me $100. I wasn't even driving yet. I was 15 years old.
Oh shit!
Do you know Dawes Road?
Yeah.
So Secret Community Center is my main station. So I had to get 7 of my guys on the TTC bus. We took my turntables, my mixer, and we brought 4 crates of records.
Wow!
And then we
on the bus,
and then we these the Picard twins.
No Uber then.
And we got 2 speakers from a neighborhood boy that lived down the street on Secord, and we did the dance. We started doing that for a year.
Right.
So that first night, going back to your question, at $400, 15 years old, the old school mentality, I put it in a sock, 2 socks, because it was like $1 and $2 bills.
Right.
So my mom,
$1 and $2 bills.
My mom is doing laundry.
Right.
And she's seeing my sock. And she opens up and she goes, because my dad, I openly share. My dad was away for drugs.
Right.
So my mom would plead, DJ, dance. We charge $5.
Right.
We're gonna make more money. It's a long weekend coming up. We're gonna charge 10. We're gonna double this money.
Oh shit!
So she trusts me.
Right.
She goes, really? Yeah. And I go, I'm taking $100. I'm going up to Golomont Flea Market. I'm buying they have these things. It was state of the art shit at the time.
Right.
I'm getting a double decker where I can take a tape, I can duplicate it.
Yeah.
And sell it for $5. So that was the moment.
So that was your support system that made you say, hey, I can do this.
When I got that $400, bro. That's 1985, bro.
Right.
Some people weren't making that in a month. Yeah, so that was the moment. That was the first time I really, from there on, it would just,
right. It
was always.
So how did you get through those down years, like before you started, meeting these guys, and Doran and them?
Like in regards to,
like, how did you stay afloat? You have.
Oh no, we were from age 15, dominated the school system. So we're charging $2,000 in the committee now, right? It's costing me $400 or $500 to get the sound.
Yes, of course.
So I'm making $1,500, and now we get to the point now we're doing 2 schools on a Friday. I'm making like $3,000 a week. I'm in high school, bro. That's why I was driving brand new cars. I got 2 brand new cars, not one. When I was 16, I had $18,000 cash saved up, and I wanted a Mustang.
Right.
My friend Joe DiNatale came with me to Heritage Forge on a bus. We skipped school. He doesn't even know this. I get there. It's a funny story because we get there and I'm like, I see the Mustang I wanted. It was 13.5. You would think you negotiate and all that, but remember, I'm 15 years old. Sit down, tell the guy, I'm thinking I'm in a variety store, bro. Like I'm buying a pack of gum.
Right.
I go, yeah, we're going to buy that car. So there was, back then for people that are older, there wasn't leasing.
Right. Okay.
It was either you're buying the car or you're financing. There wasn't really leasing happening. So he's sitting okay, but he's looking, we're kids. So he's going, are you here with your parents? I go, no, but I'm ready to buy that car. And in my mind, I'm thinking, I'm going to buy the car and leave right now. Right? That's how I'm thinking. So he sits me down. He goes, well, don't you want to talk about the car? No, that's the car I want. It's 13.5, right? So he's thinking like, this guy's not negotiating. There's not. So he goes, how are you planning to pay for it? I'll buy it right now. Because I don't know, I get it. You're going to buy it. So who's your lender? Do you have a bank? You already have a pre-agreement with your parents or something? I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. Like it's going in one year. I'm like, dude, I'm like buying a pack of gum. I want to go.
Wow.
So then he goes, okay, so how do you plan to pay for the car? I go, no, I got the money here.
Right.
In my gym bag. So I start pulling out the cash. And I'm pulling out change even.
Right.
But I got like 18 grand in there. I go, bro, I got 13.5 here. Right? And he's like, no. Okay. Hold on a second. We go into the business manager's office and then, sir, I don't even know at 15 years old what he says when he says this. Well, sure. Do you have your insurance? Now, remember, I'm coming from a background of my father being in that system.
Right.
Insurance to me sounds like assurance.
Right.
Bail.
Right.
I'm like, you must know a little bit about me. No, man, I'm good. I'm thinking, no, I don't need no bail. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Not insurance or a car.
Right.
I'm not even, that's not even, no, I don't need that. I'm thinking, no, I don't want that. I'm good. I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
The guy goes, so, sir, you need to have insurance. I go, no, I'm good. I'm telling you.
Right.
I got to go. I got to get back to school.
Mm-hmm.
Then he realized, goes, sir, he explained like, oh, okay. He goes, well, you're going to have to go home and get permission from your mom to co-sign this. Get insurance. And when you do it, we'll sell you the car.
Right.
I get home. My mom gets home. She calls the next morning. The car was $13,500. The insurance quoted $5,200 for insurance. So she said no. She said, no, you're not doing it.
Mm-hmm.
That night, I went and bought a Pontiac Fiero GT brand new. Paid $19,000. I was short $2,000.
Right.
In my mind, I'm making that money next week. It was a 6-cylinder. That's why the insurance came down. It was like $2,000. She said, okay. So I got the car, brand new car. I put 2 12-inch subs in it right away. 6 months in, I'm talking to the insurance. They're like, sir, your record's good.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to get the Mustang, we can do it for the same price as the Fiero. So I went to Heritage Ford, 6-month-old Fiero GT, brand new, traded it in. They gave me $11,000 for something I paid $19,000 for, and I got my Mustang.
But what would you say in those short years of you seeing what you want and then seeing it actually rolling and taking off? What inspiration would you give some of the young DJs right now?
I get that question all the time, and I have the same answer every single time.
Right.
If you're going to ask me how to take off my glasses because you don't know how to do it,
right,
just follow what I'm showing you, because I'm going to show you. Take your glasses off. That's how you do it.
It's that easy.
It's that easy. It really is. But if you want to start doing it a different way, I can't help you. If you want to know how I made $1, I'm going to show you how I made the $1.
Right.
Put your hand here.
Right.
Put your hand here. Just follow my steps.
Right.
If you talk to, I'm blessed now. My family business is $1 billion industry now in the real estate game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surrounded by a lot of billionaires because they're my idols, because I want to be a billionaire.
Right.
And common denominator with every single one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Mistake of most people who get into that $1 million category, worth a couple $100 million. The reason why they can never get to that next level, they're stuck at one level of not listening to what they did. Because what they did is different than what it did for you to get to 100 million.
Did you have a mentor at that time?
I have my junior high school phys ed teacher, which I've shared the story many times, Mr. Booth. In our junior high school, we had house leagues. So we had 4 house leagues. They were colored. So I was a yellow house. And it was all around sports. And the winner at the end of the year would be the winner. So if it was yellow, blue, green, or red, you try to want to be the winning team, winning in all the sports, right? So grade 7, 8, and 9 is my junior high school. So by grade 9 is when you get picked for house leader. But you have to qualify for that.
Right.
I lost my dad when I was in grade 7. And I was, again, because I was making money, I was also a troubled kid.
Right.
I'm always in trouble. I'm always in the principal's office. There's a difference between suspended and getting expelled. Like I was getting to the level when you get expelled, you're out of the school board, right? So I'm crossing that line. I'm getting suspended all the time.
Oh, shit.
But I'm getting the warning about expelled. We're in a group ceremony, like end of grade 8. It's a build up for like months in June, and they're going to announce who the house leaders are. So you already know, like, oh yeah, so slowly. Yeah. For sure. And my name gets called. And Mr. Booth is an old school guy, looks like Hulk Hogan.
Oh, shit.
Like tough as fuck, like just old school way. Like he grab you physically, like that kind of guy. And he goes, come on, Carlos, you're house leader, get up. So 4 of us stand up there and we're all looking the same way. Like I'm even in shock.
Right.
But I took the role on. We ended up winning our next year when I was house leader. We won in all the sports. That teacher, it took me, I shared this about 4 or 5 years ago. It took me almost 30 years to find that guy.
Oh, wow.
Because at the time I didn't realize it.
Right.
I didn't realize he was my mentor. But I realized everything he was teaching me in sport is what gave me my success when I met Doran.
Oh, so okay.
Because he taught me how to be a leader. It's one thing to be doing something, but if I ain't helping you get me there,
right,
we might not win.
So as a mentor, you saw success in him.
He taught me about leadership.
Leadership. And it led to success.
So I learned, everything when you talk to these high-end successful people,
Mhm.
number one thing they know how to do is lead.
Mhm.
You got to be a leader. It's one thing to be a motivator, but being a motivator doesn't create success.
Right. Right.
Once you motivate somebody, now what can you do to get them through that door? Now
Mhm.
you got to turn into a leader. So that leadership, I tell you, I openly share it with all the success and everything I've done. Started back then. I learned about leadership at a young age. Now, was I doing properly probably back then? No, but
Right.
now I think I'm mastering. I'm still learning it,
Mhm.
but my success rate now is so much
So, in our community, because I heard this the other day and it kind of hit. I heard in our community we're over mentored, right? We don't have the funds to do what we need. So they always supply a mentor to say how we get it done. But the issue with the mentors in our community or small little community is the fact that
easier.
they're not putting you in position to win. Like in certain other communities or certain other levels, the mentor will, hey, I'm gonna send you to Oracle. I'm gonna send you to Best Buy. I know the guys here, here, and here because they might have went to school with them, whatever. And then that guy gives you your first contract. What's your take on having a mentor and giving them, like, you're a mentor as a DJ to somebody? You're like, here, I got a gig for you. Like, that is what I mean by the success. You're not just saying, yeah, watch me, I'm playing tonight, and you're bragging on this poor person that's looking to you for. They know what it is to DJ, but they just need that door open and for you to give them that. Like, is that something for you to do, or is it you put it like you got to find that on your own?
I think if you got a good leader in front of you, it
Hmm.
opens your eyes and separates you from all those people you're talking about.
Hmm.
Because when you think about, sitting there and I'm watching, let's say in 89, 90, I'm looking up to the Jazzy Jeffs, I'm looking
Right.
to Kid Capri.
Hmm.
I'm looking to Jam Master Jay, because you're thinking in your mind, like you're thinking of the guys that you hear about,
Hmm.
keep hearing in radio. So if you can get an opportunity to be with that guy,
Hmm.
you finally get the opportunity. If he's leading in the right way, he's going to open up that door because he's motivated me now.
Right.
True story. First time I met Kid Capri, anybody that knows my DJ career, growing up in the 90s with TKO, Cosmic Crash Crew, doing my high school dances, I always had an MC. And a leadership skill. He was like, because he came to the Jaguar. Believe it or not, they were in Buffalo.
Right.
Same, nothing to do in Buffalo. Hooker brought him over there. Right? Remember DJ Hooker?
Yeah.
Hooker brought him.
Right.
So he just hanging, and we're chilling afterwards. One advice I'll give you, man. He goes, I love the way, and he was. Remember, this is 1990.
Mhm.
So for him, now they play reggae. He was
Right.
more like, holy shit, look how the reggae music is here. Like, you guys play two sets of it. Look at this calypso, soca, like whatever you guys call it. Look at the
Right.
women, right? So he is like, man, you know your music. You know how to program it. Because, I'm going to give you one piece of advice.
Mhm.
How much you paying that MC? $50 times 4 for the month. That's 200 in your pocket, bro.
Mhm.
Do it yourself. Well, because I got it from him,
Mhm.
no more MCs.
Oh, really?
I started MC
Poor
my party.
dude. Poor dude.
Because he's right. Why do I need an MC?
Right.
Real DJs MC themselves.
Right. So with that experience and what is going on today, and sometimes I see your online posts, is there a bitterness that you take from the DJs now?
100%.
Or what is it that irks you?
It's a
What?
personal one that I can't change. This is a personal feel
Right.
that as I've gotten older, I've
Mhm.
actually, so I used to openly talk about this and I changed my opinion. A great video that that Jazzy Jeff put out probably
Right.
5-6 years ago.
Mhm.
Prior to that, I never hired a DJ to play with me that didn't play on turntables. If you were a CDJ DJ or a
Right.
controller, you don't work for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I never hire you. You have to be on
Why is
turntables
that?
because I'm old school. I want to see you play on turntables.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it's kind of funny as I've gotten older now. It's no
Mhm.
different than we probably all got this from our parents. When I used to go to school,
Right.
I used
Of
to
course.
walk barefoot for a mile.
Of course. Of
And
course.
why do you have to go in your car with air conditioning? But which is a smarter way to do it?
Mhm.
Get in the car with
Get
air
air
conditioning.
Drive me to school.
Drive me to school.
Don't
get
have
on
me
a bus,
walk. I
don't
have
let me
more
walk.
time to think about
Or,
what I need to do.
what I've learned with age is
Right.
the bitterness, you may say it is, or the thing that throws me off is
Mhm.
I get it now. There's a
Mhm.
smarter way to do it. but it's also taken away. That's why we didn't have like now you have thousands of DJs. In the 80s and 90s, there wasn't thousands.
Right. And you have to be good.
And you had to be good, and you had the money.
Right.
If you can't buy the records every week,
right?
Because back then it was an era of you had to be the first one breaking that record.
Yes. Or having it.
Or having it. Like you want to be like known for breaking a record. Or like you said, have it eventually.
Right.
That means you got to go buy it.
Right.
So that means you got to be making money.
Mm.
So you're hustling, you're having some sort of success. That's why there was only the Ebony's, TKO, and
right.
there wasn't a bunch of sound crews, Kilowatt, Sunshine. Now everyone's a DJ.
Right.
Go buy yourself a laptop.
And you're a DJ.
Get a big memory, you got music. I share this all the time. People, you may not even know this. From 1991, when we had the Major League Baseball All-Star Game in Toronto at the Sky Dome, I was the hired DJ for every one of the events, including at the Sky Dome.
Oh, wow.
That got me
outside of your crowd.
Yeah, and that got me my gig with the Blue Jays that I played behind left field throughout all those World Series until the strike happened.
Wow.
But DJs weren't showcased
not like
back
that.
then.
No,
when I said not like that, like, so I would be behind left field. If anybody who knows the stadium, Sky Dome, or now Rogers Center, left field is a roadway around the stadium. That's how they get around internally. I used to get paid $75. I would play seventh inning and after the game.
Right.
All there was an area with a power outlet. There was no table, no speakers, no nothing. I had to bring everything myself.
Wow.
Every game. And there would be times I'd be playing on boxes, beer boxes, because there's no table.
Right.
Because they had no care about a DJ. And
wow.
now look.
Wow. Every stadium has
a DJ booth. That's showcase with lighting on it, right? So, there's a form of hate because you're like, shit, like that home run was over my head.
Oh, shit.
I was sitting there
while you're mixing.
and I couldn't, and now I can't leave. Because I'm by myself, bro.
Right. No.
I got to log, put all my trolley. I want to be outside celebrating with everybody else, but I can't. I'm still hustling.
Oh, shit. So, but those are the sacrifices. What do you say to somebody? Like share that sacrifice or share some stories before we jump into the next evolution of
always know, man. It's like anything. If you're going to start something, is there a bit of luck that you might just take off right away? Right. Yeah, that's part of life. We can never be mad at that. Or has it been given to somebody?
Right.
Like I never get mad at somebody who comes from a successful family and then people say, somebody in that family did a lot of work to get them to that stage. So I appreciate that. So it's the same in DJ. I think some guys get breaks, but for the majority of us, we've had to put our work in. We've had to hustle. We had to do what we had to put practice in. Like DJs now don't practice.
Right, right. Do you adjust to the crowd? Like what is your style of DJing?
My style was always playing for the women. Always. Because it ain't no good if Jaguar's full of dudes. So if I'm playing for the women, getting the women singing music,
right,
my dudes are going to be happy. And when I say I'm playing for the women,
right,
to make my crew happy. Because at the end of the night, as a DJ, what's your emotion you're trying to get? It was packed.
Yeah.
Like I got fucked up. I got some pussy. But if the club wasn't busy, the vibe wasn't right.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, oh shit. So I want to make sure when I leave, it's wicked, bro.
Oh wow.
That's the emotion we want out of it.
Wow. So how was that evolution? Like I see now, I know there's little things in between you changing careers. Now I see you with a digital platform, taking care of people's health and their financial well-being. Like how did that from being a DJ transform to you doing multiple things? I know you do real estate.
Our family business, it's $1 billion business now.
Right.
I had a car wash where I had a high-end clientele that was supporting me. So as I've gotten older, I've had a bigger pool of people that trust me. So no different than when I just look at opportunities. It's funny that my nickname, it's funny. Do you know Rodney Davis?
Yes.
So Rodney Davis gave me a nickname once, DJ in the boardroom. Because I'm always in the boardroom now doing deals. My background is a DJ. Without being a DJ, I'm not in that boardroom.
So how like that elevation, man? Like what is your mindset to elevate from the love? Because DJs that just want to DJ, just like an artist wants to play guitar. That's all I want to focus on. So how did you kind of like understand like DJing is one aspect, that's the product. So you didn't really focus on that product. You kind of built everything around it, and then your DJing got to another level in terms of corporations and big gigs that you played at.
with the DJ game, the one thing that I started wanting to do is how Dorn helped me become a good DJ and gave me my own platform.
Right.
That's what I started doing as I started growing and I started realizing there's other opportunities coming. Who's the DJ I'm going to bring in under me that is willing to understand what I'm saying? And I can have the same conversation with them. So a guy who's still in the scene to this day, probably works 4 to 5 nights a week, goes by the name of John Jay. He was with a huge all ages sound crew that was top. They had a tour bus. They were called the Ill Kids.
Yes.
Comedian Tricks, who you hear about. He was the MC with them. Like a lot of people know the history.
So that's how Comedian Tricks got his. Oh, okay.
So he was with Ill Kids. Okay. John Jay was one of the DJs.
Yes, I remember
Ricochet, who's on on radio right now, who I helped him get the job with Mastermind on back into radio.
Mastermind was one of my favorite DJs.
He was part of Ill Kids. So John Jay was DJ live with the Ill Kids.
Right.
He was my protege. When I wanted to start stepping away, I said, dude, you gotta come. However, we can't use the name DJ Live.
Why is that?
Because you're known for all ages with Ill Kids. So he asked me, so if anybody that knows me in my growing up days, because my DJ name, if you look at all my vinyl, if I'm ever playing, which I probably will never play again, but which I still have all my vinyl, all DJs used to write their names on their records.
Yes.
My nickname growing up was, in TKO, I wasn't DJ Carlos, Notorious DJ. I was DJ Too Tough C. Because
Too Tough C.
That was my DJ name. So, same thing, when I went to start doing school dance, I couldn't use DJ Too Tough C. I'm promoting violence. Right. That name.
Right.
I can't get the job. I said, you guys are not violent, but bro, our parties are, this is like the mid 90s. I said, John Jay, you can't use DJ Live. So what name do I use? I go, why don't you just do like me? Use your name. DJ John Jay. Right. And to this day, right today, he's playing 5 nights a week. So I feel good because that kid, he's in his 40s now, probably coming up to 40 if not. But look at his lifestyle. Enjoy life.
Right.
You don't work for nobody.
Right.
He loves to play golf. He's probably playing golf right now as we speak.
Right.
That's freedom.
Right.
I'm about freedom. Like when I hear people talking about they go to a job every day, I don't mean to laugh at them.
Right.
But I am. Because you don't need to do that.
Quiet laugh.
Yeah, like you don't need to do that.
Right.
We have so much opportunity in this country that you don't have to go work for somebody. Right. Because go to your job, like a digital franchising that I'm involved in now. I'm showing you where today anybody.
What is that digital franchise, brother? Like that evolution into that digital franchise. When you think about
companies, like I think a lot of people who will probably watch this will understand this. About 10 years ago, 15 years, now about 12, 13 years ago, we were all getting, text messaging was still pretty big. So you're getting a text message from somebody. You send me a text message. If you use this and log into Uber, I'll give you a $5 credit on your ride. And then you'll get a $5 credit. Right. Great. Then you start seeing companies like Expedia doing the same thing. Airbnb starting to do the same thing. A lot of people forget Amazon was a book company. Yep. But what did that book company prove? Like, holy shit, look how many books are selling. So I'm a guy that might have a radio. I'm like, hey man, your book company, Jeff? Can I put my radio on there? Do the same deal with you? But what it proved from 15 years ago, at least 12 to 15 years, there's an online presence. You don't need a retail store. What is a retail store? I've owned a nightclub. Like people don't know, I bought 50% of Studio 69. So I know what it's to own and operate a business like that when you have to hire staff and slowly he's not coming into work tonight. I gotta find someone to replace him. Holy shit, he's my major guy. Stress. Oh, fucking beer company. They don't have Heineken tonight. I gotta go drive around and find Heineken. Or I lose money. So stress. Right. Fucking snowstorm. Our projected numbers for the night gone because of a snowstorm. That's stress. That's been normalized in business. Now you've got this online business. You don't have any of this.
Right.
People are willing to spend money online. Yeah. That opened my eyes when I found a product that changed my own life. That I realized just before I got into business, it saved my life. I was 310 pounds, had a mild heart attack in 2019. I've been on blood pressure pills for 13 and a half years. I'm on cholesterol pills. I'm just unhealthy.
Right.
I take a product that's all natural that nobody knows about, and it actually changed my life. I'm off my blood pressure pills. I'm healthier. I'm down 80 pounds over a year now. I've been maintaining that. I'm still working on more. But because of my transition, my internal crew started doing it. And then we're like, how come we're seeing these real results and nobody knows about it? That's where the entrepreneur kicks in.
Right.
It's no different than when in 1990.
And who suggested this thing to you?
I have a friend of mine that I trust that I helped introduce into the rental business 15 years ago when he was 20 years old.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very successful real estate agent in the new construction world here in Toronto. That he saw my what I was going through because I tried a drug first called Ozempic and I had the side effects that are horrible.
Wow. So all those things they spoke about right now.
I'm a product of it.
Right.
People don't realize when you go buy, when your doctor writes you a prescription, do you go home and Google or back in our days pull up a book and look at what every one of the ingredients are and what that doctor, you just go with it, right? Yep. When I tried it in August 22, and this is the business side of me now. When you ask me this question, this is what I'm studying. Right? I'm thinking about this. In August 22, when I tried this, Ozempic has been around for 40 years as a diabetic drug.
Wow.
Novo Nordisk, who owns it, at the time, it took them 40 years. It's a $320 billion business. It took them 40 years. No, that's what they're worth. That's what they're worth. After 40 years.
Okay.
Only prescribed as a diabetic drug. That's where they got their success. I try it. I have my scenario. But the end of 22, because one of the benefits that they keep pushing is because you're controlling your sugar level by digesting slowly, you're going to lose weight. So they got it approved for weight loss in America at the end of 22. And then it got approved in the first quarter of 23 in Canada for weight loss. That's why you're seeing it advertised like that. Wow. But the reason why, this is business side of me now thinking. This is why I get involved in things like I'm thinking, wait a sec here. 320 million took them 40 years to get to that value. They suddenly get approved for weight loss because it's one of the so-called benefits without all these crazy side effects. In a 16-month period, Ozempic is now worth $700 billion. So business in me now, that you know what that tells me? I'm like, wait a sec here.
There's room for
Forget
others.
about the side effects for a second. Because we're in 62 countries. So wait a sec. This is telling me that the world is willing to spend money to lose weight. Because this company took 40 years and they doubled their value. There's a huge market for it.
Time.
And what we have an all natural version of Ozempic, which is GLP-1 at an extracted formula that we have 5 patents on. This is not promoting and marketing ideas. We have 15 world-renowned clinical studies by people like Cleveland Clinic, Sydney University. They do studies every 2 years on our product. So we have that backing. Then we're approved by Health Canada and the FDA. So I look at it like opportunity.
Opportunity. Yes.
Because society has proven that they're spending money on it. So it's the best thing I've ever got involved in. That's when the business side of me always kicks in because it's what I learned at a young age. I learned this as a teenager. When I was doing that dance at Secor Community Center once a month, I realized my homeboys have a problem. They have nowhere to go party. That's a problem, right?
So you're solving a problem. You found the problem.
I got the answer.
And you got the answer.
And I get the reward over here.
You get the reward, the benefits of you.
40 years later, all I've done, I found a product that I believe in myself. Because it's changed and saved my life. There's a huge solution that it's not just a club crowd that needs it. It's not a real estate world that needs it. It's not a car wash community that needs it. It's everybody. And 10 out of 10 people don't know about it. Even better. No different than when I introduced dress code downtown Toronto for the urban crowd. No one was doing that.
No. I remember you try to get into your club. You got to be dressed. I'm in my khakis.
First mover's advantage, I call it. Learn that from a young age. When the building's on fire, everyone's running out, right? There's one guy running in, he might find some jewels.
Yeah, he's the guy.
So
when there's drought, that's when you stop.
So that's what I'm about. Like digital franchising is a new marketplace. So look at the power of sharing a story right now. Hitting a button.
But it's equity. Your personal story is actually equity, social finance. Because you socially just share the story, how you did that. And your story has value.
And the real goal now is like at the end of the day, yes, have I done well in life? I've made millions of dollars. And I'm not here to brag about that. But no different than first time you made 1,000. You want to make 10?
Oh, for sure.
And then you want to make 100?
For sure.
You want to make 200, 500, maybe that first meal. You want to make 10 mil. You want to try and figure out how to get to 100 mil. You want to figure out how to get a half a bill. You want to be a billionaire because
Yes.
so mindset has changed, and digital franchising from an entrepreneur standpoint, I'm like, wait a sec here. Changing lives, which is a great legacy for my family and my kids. And for me, I love it. Like everywhere I go, it's like, hey man, thank you. Or you help my friend or you help me. That's a great feeling, but
Right.
you get paid for it.
Right.
You want to get rewarded.
That's a better feeling.
You want to get rewarded.
And you're doing something good.
Hey man, that's what it's about, man.
Wow. Wow. So you saw, so what is it that you think people see in you to kind of like back what you're saying or believe in your investment ideas?
Trust. Trust is number one.
Mhm.
When I look at somebody that I'm going to do some with,
Right.
it starts with trust.
So you're like a franchise on your own. The name is a franchise.
But I learned that from my family. It wasn't me. I
Right.
trusted my family. They taught me how to bring in my demographics. But a true salesman doesn't sell nothing.
Mhm.
Never have to sell anything. Your trust will sell.
Right.
You'll never see me tell you, I want you to do it. You're going to
Right.
ask me, how can I do it?
How can I?
I've been with Lennox Lewis from day one. I was at the Olympics with him in '88. Still with him. Like, I'm going to see him tonight.
Hmm.
I've never felt being around Lennox that I'm with the heavyweight champion of the world.
Right.
He makes you feel like he's with the heavyweight champion. He's encouraging you. I want to say it's easy to do, but I think it's hard to do that. I think it's hard for people to teach that.
Mhm.
And I love when I hear you talk because I'm hearing growth.
Mhm.
We all fuck up.
Yes.
You know, like I'm the first person to tell people I'm not perfect, bro. And I'm probably going to continue to fuck up.
Right.
And it might cost me some shit.
Right.
Have I probably cost myself $1 million deals? 100%. But if I didn't learn from it,
Mhm.
then that's a mistake. And if I didn't have support to teach me, hey, man,
Right.
you know, fuck Los, you fucked up with that, bro.
Yeah. Yes.
God
yes,
damn,
yes,
bro, you fuck.
yes.
And I've had those conversations. I've had guys come to me like, fuck Los. You know, if we handle it this way, we probably would have got the deal done. But
Right.
let's not do it again. Let's not make this mistake twice.
So you have good support system around.
You have to. And its support system doesn't have to be a teammate. It can be an outsider.
Right. Right.
It can be an outsider.
More times an outsider supports you more than the internal.
I say this openly. Question before I meant
Right.
to ask this earlier when you asked me. What is your thoughts when you think about me? What if you
Huge.
think back? If you think back from the beginning,
Mhm.
you think back to my openness,
Mhm.
how I call people out.
Yes.
What's your thoughts?
So my
I
thoughts.
love to always ask.
No.
interviewers that question.
That's amazing. So for me, I look for motivation, I look for inspiration, and I look for those doing the revenue. How you speak and how you speak on, let's say somebody did you wrong and you're calling them out, or the community of the DJs that are not, you see faults in what they're doing. Bro, I love that. Like from my point of view, I look at it and I might say you're boisterous. I might say, hey, maybe you shouldn't have said it at that point. But it doesn't have no effect on me because you're doing things outside of that. You're not just coming on and talking and somebody doesn't know and you're just erratic, but you're actually doing things where you have to meet and talk to people. So there's going to be that you have to be presentable. Somebody's going to look at you and then see your post. Are they going to close a deal with you? But you still move ahead because you're doing it from reality. You're doing it from your realness, right? So, and also I get motivated based on financially watching people do different businesses, watching you do things from the time that I was coming to your clubs, from the time you're telling me and my boys would have to change our gear to come in. Sometimes it pull us aside or pull me and my man aside and say, yo, I'm going to do this for you tonight. We're going to let you in, but you got to change your gear.
People don't know, they think we're hating on them, but we're trying. If we don't do that, we don't create what we talk about now.
Right.
There's a history that came with now no one can say they had that.
Right.
We're a part of that.
Right.
I love when I hear those stories because they don't realize that's the conversation he had with me.
Yes.
It's a mindset. You have to teach this, but excuses are not accepted. Excuses is not an option. Mm-hmm. And you are going to fail. That famous Michael Jordan commercial.
Oh, you missed so many shots and all that stuff.
I only made one.
Made one.
That's all that counted.
That's all that counts.
That's all that counts, bro. I've been around the heavyweight champion of the world my whole fucking adult life.
Mhm.
I train with this guy. And I hear him say it all the time to his own kids.
Mhm.
You have to get punched in your face.
It's all fun and games. You get punched in your face.
Exactly. Until you get punched in your face, you'll know if this is for you.
Wow. So if you heard it there, mindset, you always got to have your mindset, be able to ever evolve with your mindset. You got to be able to understand what's happening around you. And also also the takeaway I got from Carlos is you have to have a good support system around you that you trust. And the number one thing in all of this business and evolving is trust the person you are working with, and that person has to have trust in you for you to deliver what it is that they want.
And learn to meditate.
Learn to meditate. And what is your top saying or top go-to thought when you're not at your best?
On my phone, I have a picture of my kids.
Mhm.
Because for me, that's enough power for me. So you got to find what's going to be what is your life about?
Right.
What's your life about? For me, it's my phone. It's my family.
Yes, we're gonna have another part 2 with this. This was amazing. I'm really happy that you came in here, bro. Like I said, we've done this 3 times, ending on this, but you have so much more, and
Part 2 coming.
I want to learn so much more from you, bro. And I want to see how I can connect with you even more on a business level. Once again, thank you so much.
Right.
And for those peeping this podcast, everything's all about inspiration. I quit my job. Thank you so much for checking in. And we'll catch
I've
you
never
on the
had a
next one.
job.
Never had a job.
Never had a job.
You love what you do.
Yeah, I
It's
get
never a
paid.
job.
I get paid for doing nothing.
Like I'm saying, these things put something together, but we have something for you where Carlos is going to actually put some kind of courses together so that you can actually understand, even if it's from his new digital program or it's from his lifespan, teaching you how to do things a little bit better and get by and be a little bit more successful. We appreciate that.